I'm super jazzed for Crab Arc, but in honor of Baby Geniuses, I've loaded up a bad movie as well to watch while we record as like
No.
a quid pro. Austin, Gods of Egypt. I've only heard good things about.
I mean, look, this is underwater arc. This is wet arc. If you leave it long enough, every arc becomes crab arc.
Yeah, the carcinization will set in.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I keep living. Really, I'm just waiting for that carcinization to kick in.
Austin, check my character sheet. It says I'm a crab now. Oh, too late.
You got too close to the crab zone, and you were in crabbing.
Yeah. Evolution can't be wrong.
That's right.
Surely crab is the way to go.
All right. So, I mean, nothing happened last time, right? There's nothing ominous, nobody missing, no pits of despair that were nearby or anything else like that. Where like things just happening, right? We went to school. Yeah.
One thing that happened last time was we introduced ourselves because it's still kind of near the beginning of the season for this half of the recording.
Yeah, we gotta do that. Who are all you? Who are you people?
I'll jump in, why not? Hi, I'm Laura, she, her pronouns. I'm playing Barbella, who is a fish woman that is she worships the riddle snake. Doing all those riddles, that's how she gets magic.
So, fish person, you mean a Triton Paladin, level 5.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, well, see, Austin, there's only so much steering the show and being professional I can do. I'm a level 5 paladin, an acolyte background, chaotic good Triton, and I have a holy laminated book of riddles.
All right, and Laura K. Buzz everywhere.
Yeah.
All the social medias, that's Laura K. Buzz.
Yeah, by the time that this comes out, there will be an audiobook of mine that will have come out a little bit before this. If you want to hear like 8 hours of me talking at you, go check out the Gender Euphoria audiobook. 8 hours and 9 minutes of me just whispering in your ears. I don't whisper, I talk at a regular speaking volume.
Will you release a whisper cut?
Hey, Austin, I'll make a whisper cut just for you.
Oh no. That feels passive aggressive now.
Anytime there's downtime in this episode and no one's got anything to say, I'll just start whispering the book at you.
Oh gosh.
My name is second in line, I guess. Here, my name is Skitch. They, he. I am playing Boyce with quotation marks around their name. Boyce is a Water Genasi wizard, level 5, Order of the Scribes, background, Quantric student from Strix. They went to school and they learned how to be an architect, an aquitect, and they are basically a wizard that does like building planning and construction for the community around the gig. And they also have a little pet mathematical realization called Gotti that hopefully we'll get some more time to play around with on Scam. But that's who they are. And as for me, you can find me easily enough on social media. It's either Skitch Music, Skitch Studio, or just Skitch. If you want to find me more directly, just go to the Discord server and at me, anytime.
And then I'm last. This is Quinn. She, they. I do a manga podcast, which you can find. It's called Weekly Manga Recap. You can find it basically anywhere. And sometimes I'm on social media sites as Rolo T. I guess Blue Sky is really the only one anymore. Everything else kind of exists, but I wouldn't go searching for it. It's all dead now as social media makes its long continuing march towards absolute awfulness. But on that note, I'm playing an awful character called XX Black Ebon Reaper XX. They are a Kuatoa monk. They think they are very cool. And I do dumb stuff. I don't know what else to say, Austin. I'm throwing it back to you. This potato got hot.
The zip zap zop right back to Austin.
I literally listened to you DMing like an hour or so before we recorded this, and the whiplash from you trying to be like a responsible adult that's like leading things and making things happen to this, I will never be ready for that.
it's like one level of like, okay, so I have to physically do this or things fall apart, and then it's like Austin's really good at this, so I'm gonna show up and be dumb, and he's probably gonna know what to do.
Yeah, sometimes you mean like, I've been too serious being a DM. I gotta be a silly little fucker for a bit.
I have a Shadow the Hedgehog Squishmallow in front of me, and anytime I'm not sure what to do, I'm gonna look into his eyes, and he's gonna let me know what I should do as my character's decision.
All right, so last time we left the adventure, you had all been tasked by the school, the governing body of the town of Zulfo, to find the missing Capeheart family, who are hominids, which is a kind of crab person. You went out to where their claim is, to a great oceanic trench. And this is where we get to discuss the fascinating topic of dark vision.
Oh, that thing. I've got it.
I have dark vision.
I have it as well.
All three of you have dark vision. All right, so this is something that in most D&D campaigns doesn't really come up, even though it supposedly is a major mechanic. Often DMs just forget about darkness, and even when they don't, most of the player species have it. And for the few that don't have it, everyone starts with like a pack, which has like a torch in it. So it's pretty rare for it ever to matter.
I was going to ask about it because I had the sudden realization that if one of us didn't have dark vision, we can't hold a torch, and it's always dark at the bottom of the ocean.
Exactly. So this is where I want to discuss this. So all of you have dark vision as part of your core character.
Yeah.
Yep. I have 120 feet of dark vision.
It's
Wow.
right there under the very useful skill Can Breathe Underwater, which I'm very glad my character has.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny if one of you had been like, I'm a gnome. Oh gosh, episode 1, dead.
Can I be like a whale? Just hold your breath real good.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're going to discuss that because I'm trying to give the underwater season some meaningful flair and not just have it be a normal season where we talk about water every once in a while, you know? So that was one of my fear, is that we would just do a pretty traditional season with only the occasional reference to seaweed or something every once in a while, and that would not feel like we were taking advantage of the setting. So all three of you are going to step into this great trench and down into the darkness. You know, there's no fall damage underwater under normal circumstances. They're all floating downward, and it gets darker and darker, but none of you are completely unable to see. Do you all want to say or do anything as you descend into the Capeheart trench?
I think Reaper, as she descends into darkness, is just like squeezing her fists in excitement, like, yes, yes.
I'm being embraced. I'm being embraced by the darkness. Let's go.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure that Boyce is like leafing through some of their green prints of different schematics and spells, and then realizing that the lighting's getting darker and darker. It's just like, man, I probably should have brought a little something to make this a little easier to read, but I'll make do. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be too bad down here. Well, what do y'all think? What do y'all think happened to? What do y'all think happened to the family here?
Maybe they tripped.
I mean, it's possible they just needed some peace and solitude to work on solving the mysteries of life and such.
Or perhaps they were kidnapped by the Fruit Warrior. And Reaper is going to pull out the yellow banana badge that we found by the edge here. And she's just holding on to. And she's imagining a very powerful warrior leaving these behind as a calling card.
So are they fruit warriors because they have like the fruit emblems and stuff on them, or are they actually just like sentient, moving, giant pieces of fruit? You know, are we going to come across a giant banana down here, like holding hostages or something? That would be that could be a little weird to see down here.
I mean, if I were to leave behind an emblem of myself, it would be a smaller version of myself, so I can only presume that, yes, this person is a giant banana.
Well, unless it's a cult of people who want to destroy fruit, like it's a warning sign, like, oh, we'll peel the skin right off the banana. What do we do to the rest of you fruit people?
Whoa, that's a good idea. I'm writing that down. Skin peeling cult.
Maybe they worship the banana like it's sort of like a wrapper snake, like a snake inside of a wrapper, almost like there, you know? Maybe a rival to the riddle snake, you know?
Oh, there's no rival to the riddle snake.
I listen. They could try, the fools, the misguided masses, as they were.
All right, so this team, which doesn't currently have a name, I guess we're just calling them Wet Team until inspiration strikes, which happens every season. You all slowly stop your descent and float to the bottom of the trench, and you find yourself at the scene of some sort of incident. You can clearly see scattered objects, like pots and pans, some kind of clothing, like sticks. You need to roll investigation to learn more, but I will say, for the first blush, like something happened here, and there are things scattered all over the ground.
Yeah, investigation.
All right, then. Let's see here. Well, that's a 20 for Boyce there.
10.
How about a 5?
All right, so the group gets an average. So 10 and 20 both pass the threshold of average there. So group rolls, I'm pretty sure we've said this before, but basically it's if a majority of people pass. So with 3 of you, 2 of you need to pass. So the first thing I want to say is that although all of you have dark vision, your dark vision only has a limited range. So you can see things that are like in front of you, but after a certain point, there is a pretty steep drop off. So it is an eerie atmosphere. Like there is a wall of like infinite deep blackness at the edge of your vision, which is pretty scary, especially deep in the ocean. Things are lurking out here. So you all begin carefully scanning the environment, and with an average, I will tell you there definitely appears to have been a struggle. Something happened here. A lot of things are broken. So like there appears to be maybe something that was set up was like a structure. Someone built like a small like wooden building. I was gonna say tent. Obviously underwater tents wouldn't have the same exact kind of construction, but you imagine like a makeshift home has been reduced to like just debris here. With an average, I'm going to say you find one clue of particular importance here, which appears to be a long leg.
A long crab leg?
I'm going to need medicine to learn more about the leg.
All right, let's see what this leg's got for us here.
5.
15.
I got a 16.
All right, 15 and 16. This is interesting because Reaper got the lowest on the investigation, so you kind of just wandered around. But once the leg is found, I think you...
Is
you
this
can
a weapon?
You snap into action. Yes, this is clearly the leg of a crustacean. You're here to find the Capeheart family, who are hominids, which are basically, they're not anthropomorphic crabs, but they are like crab people. So they're like posture and size are more reminiscent of humanoids than a normal crab would be. The size of this leg leads you to believe that this person was a spider crab. I'm gonna put a picture of a spider crab in here in case you haven't seen these guys as a whole stees. Feel free to tell the audience how they make you feel.
Oh,
They're so good. Look at them.
they are the definition of just all leg.
These should be called daddy long legs. Emphasis on the daddy.
The leg to body ratio is what I think like British runway models in the 90s were trying to do.
This is some Twiggy energy for real.
It is for sure, like, because the body of the crab looks pretty much conventional, but the legs, no, they just keep going. They never stop.
Imagine cracking open one of these legs for the meat. You're just gonna get like a tube of meat, like a real tube, and it's gonna be a good feeling.
Like, good thing none of us are gonna make the sound of slurping out the meat there. That would be terrible for the audio recording. That'd be terrible.
Out of curiosity, is this do we know if this is a different type of crab to the ones we were coming to see?
Yeah. Sorry to hit you with yet another roll, but history to see what you know about the Capeheart family. So you've succeeded on 2 rolls so far, and so you have the information that there was an incident here, enough to break a bunch of things, and that this appears to be a severed spider crab leg.
Ooh, 15.
with my +7, I rolled a 9. I didn't botch.
I got a 17?
The negative modifiers getting the successes today.
Yeah,
The statistical anomaly going on here is rather wild.
Boyce is just Boyce just flipping through their book, just like, oh man, all these different types of crabs. I forgot which one we should be keeping track of, and they almost botched, just barely missing.
So 3 checks to start the episode to investigate the scene. This is like part of your, first case here in the season, the wet detectives, and you succeeded on all of them. Feel free to let me know how you know this stuff about the history for the people who succeeded. But I will say that you are all familiar enough that with the Capeheart family, you've seen them around town. They are a bunch of different crab types. They have married their dynasty, their empire across a number of different families, but the patriarch, Papa Capeheart, is a spider crab. So it stands to reason that this is the leg of Papa Capeheart, which is not a good start to finding missing people. We can talk about it a little bit more, but I don't know if you in character want to discuss a little bit before we move on.
I think I've seen this leg before. It belongs to the crab man who walks around.
As opposed to the crab man that doesn't walk around.
I don't know how many crabmen there are, but I know this one. Every person I see, I visualize and see if they're stronger than me. None of them are.
Look, I'm trying to get any sense of what's happening here, but the only insights I'm getting is that let me see. Why did the crab not like confined spaces? They were claustrophobic. Does that help? Was this a like I had to fight my way out? I was feeling cornered and trapped.
I mean, certainly if you're a little like enclosed in the darkness here, I guess. But
yeah, I can see how this would fight or flight down here a bit.
Reaper is going to raise her hand.
Yeah.
If the individual has claws, why do they not just claw themselves out of the confined space?
Sometimes there are terrors in this world you cannot simply fight.
I don't believe that.
I don't know. Have you ever tried to punch the darkness?
Why should I? The darkness is my ally. Perhaps. And she's gonna look off into like the middle distance. My only ally.
Well, irrespective, I think that they're not going to be doing that much walking around if we find more of these legs, and I have a feeling that if we can find we're not going to be finding like a trail of body parts leading us to where they've been taken, are we? That would just be a shame to start this day with this.
I don't know, but I do remember this. I got one of my teeth knocked out in a fight once, and I was told to keep the tooth so they could try and put it back in. So, Barbella is going to pick up the leg and, like, sling it over her shoulder with the intention of, yeah, we'll definitely be able to put this back on.
With enough force, we could shove it back in.
Oh my god.
Barbella is not going to make any kind of, like, medicine check or anything to know whether this is how crabs work. She's decided this is how crabs work.
If you try to look up how big spider crabs are, there's so many pictures of people holding them to show off that they're, like, people-sized. It looks like they just really like to hug. Like, from the Google image search, you're like, oh, these guys are always cuddling.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just good little guys. Look at them.
There's one particular picture I'm just going to drop on the server real quick here. Just got to show, just like...
They're friend-sized.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to have to... Boyce is going to just sort of flip through their notes and then be like, well... We know that at least they're probably down here, but now we got to find where they went and if someone took them and all that stuff. Gosh. All right.
Do we have any idea of a trail?
Yeah, survival to get a trail.
Okay, if we find a trail, I know... If Barbella rolls well, I know how she's going to get a good roll. Survival. What is that?
I got a 22.
Uh-oh, Reaper's on a roll. The darkness is really your ally.
Oh, 4.
And Boyce has an 11.
All right. So once again, average, the party passes. And so you can find little crab tracks here in the the benthic soil. So just little ones. The water usually abrades tracks pretty quickly, but you find enough of them to know which direction you're going to follow here in the chasm. It's a pretty narrow chasm where you are, so there's only two directions, right?
Yeah.
Forward and backward.
I would like to tell you Barbella's contribution here that does not go very well with that 4, which is she sniffs the crab leg and then goes, cool, I'll follow the scent. Sniffs, and the closest scent of crab leg is with her. She's very confused about how to deal with that.
Just turning in circles like a dog trying to get its tail.
A little bit.
So all these rolls have been successes. You also feel free to ask any questions. I will say you have a successful history, investigation, and survival, and medicine on the board. So all of those, I'm available for further discussion.
Do we have any idea how many people are in Papa Capeheart's family?
You had a successful history, so I will say there's a bunch. It's like a whole extended family, aunts and uncles, cousins, and brothers and sisters and stuff. It's like a full-on, the kind of mini ecosystem of these folks.
They probably had that one person who was like an quote unquote uncle, but was really just a friend of the family that just lives with them all the time. And they just kind of, and they get up to their antics and such, but, they still love them as much as they can for someone who's related, not by blood, but just by being in the same household together,
Do we know what, I don't want to say what role the Capeheart family has, but are they known for doing anything in the town? Are they farmers? Are they do they provide a service to where we live or anything like that?
They've staked a claim on the vent in this trench. Okay. So a lot of people, this is like a kind of a boom town. The comparison I made, I think last episode was the gold rush in California or something. People came out and staked their claim to a stream or a vein or something, and then this is their area, and they try to stake it off. So it's a very similar thing here where there's a bunch of vents, and different people are kind of claiming areas. So that's kind of the vibe here.
Mm-hmm. All right. I guess at this point we could just start trying to follow the trail then and see where it leads us.
There's definitely a smell of crab leg. We're on the right track.
Oh, well,
it's around here somewhere.
Just let us know. Let us know if we lose the scent then, Barbella, just in case,
Yeah, don't worry. I've got this.
I'll have, I think Boyce will have Gaudy increase their size up to a medium. So there's a medium fractal familiar, just kind of, not necessarily like a bloodhound, but just sort of following along. Being more person-sized, as it were.
All right, you all start walking down the trench in the direction of some of the tracks. Like I said, at the bottom of the ocean, evidence is not preserved very well the way even it is on land. So it's very spotty, but some people have gone this way. And you're working down the trench. The darkness ahead of you is impenetrably deep at the end of your vision. Do any of you want to say or do anything before you come upon the next thing of note?
These Capehearts are weaklings, yes? Allowing themselves to lose a leg?
Maybe they wanted fewer legs. Maybe they lost one of their socks, and this was the best solution to have the right number of socks again.
Removing a limb to increase one's speed and dexterity. An interesting and bold move. Are you implying that perhaps this Papa Capeheart is a genius?
Maybe? You could remove a leg and find out.
I would need to see his application and practice first. I've done far too many squats.
How often? I'm just thinking, how often is Reaper just squatting when they're just like? Is that their idle animation? She's just.
Oh yeah. Anytime we're not doing something, I'm doing some little body weight fitness things.
I think if you were to turn around at any given moment, there is someone doing squats and someone doing weightlifting with an anchor behind you at all times on every mission we go on.
Yeah, and then Boyce over here with their 10 strength, just like the most heavy lifting they're doing is just their very, very big just book of building diagrams and stuff like that. And even that's a bit of a strain for them.
This is the greatest concentration of dumb we've ever just meatheads. Can I get a perception check from all of you walking down the trench, talking about ripping limbs off?
Sweet.
I got a 12.
3.
I got a 3 as well. Let's go.
Austin, does a 3 pass?
3 does not pass. The group fails. Everyone dexterity saving throw as a very large boulder is pushed on top of you from above.
Dexterity.
I rolled a 9.
I rolled a 5.
10.
Everyone fails.
Oh.
Yay!
I got into double digits. Does that count for nothing, Austin?
No, you all take 7 damage as this boulder lands on the party, and you are all badly hurt, and people descend on you and start attacking you. Roll initiative. You've all been ambushed. That perception check, complete failure across the board. You're being waylaid.
20 for me.
Well, I got 22 for initiative, so that's a good sign.
9 for Boyce for initiative.
Look, but Barbella's got nothing going on in her head, but she is always ready for a fight.
All right, Reaper, you're up first. There are 2 attackers who have come down. They push the boulder on top of you, and they are just coming in swinging. I'm going to put icons of the attackers into the Roll20 now, and we can discuss. The first one is a large blue hominid, or crab person, and they have one enormous claw.
Oh, I love them so much. I can't hurt them.
That's a shiny cloth is what that is.
That's so beautiful.
It's a blue fiddler crab, one tiny claw, one fucking enormous claw the size of the whole rest of their body. This is an extreme case of sexual dimorphism in crabs. And then the other one is a little pig crab covered all in intense needle-like spines. This is called a candy crab.
Oh, delicious.
This one looks like it should be up on the surface, not underwater, like hanging out on a lychee or something.
Yeah, it does. It literally looks like candy. I loved doing research for this season because I learned about all kinds of cool animals, but there literally is just this tiny little pokey underwater crab. It's called a candy crab. It's just real. For the audience, these are all real pictures. None of this is like art.
Yeah, these are great photos. I want to pet both of them, even though one looks a little spiky, like it might hurt to pet, but sometimes the hurt is the good thing.
There are so many cool species of crabs. I'm glad that nature keeps deciding we need more crabs, because that's how we get shit like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Earth is a machine for turning protein into crabs. And
I would happily trade my body for either of these.
Yeah.
You'd also be surprised how many things with the word crab in the name are not crabs. First up, king crab?
Yeah.
King crab, not a crab.
Huh, is this how, like, strawberries aren't berries?
Yes, it's 100%
I don't
that
like,
situation.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
Can we stop? Can we stop with that?
I'm sorry. I don't decide who puts what in the phylums.
I'm looking at that king crab. It's a crab. That's clearly a crab.
Yeah, king crabs are not true crabs. This is the first thing that comes up when you search "Are king crabs crabs?" They are just a different.
They're overcompensating.
They're a different crustacean that has evolved into a crab-like form because of carcinization.
Yes, and that means it's a crab.
Yeah, I have an issue with this because that looks a lot like Kingler, and Kingler evolves from Krabby. So, checkmate.
Yeah, Pokemon does kind of determine what is and isn't science.
Austin, I've heard of carcanization, and what it is everything turns into crabs. Not something like a crab, it turns into a crab. So, checkmate.
All right, Reaper, you're up first.
So I imagine Reaper is going to take stock of both of these individuals and then immediately veer off towards the candy crab person because they have spikes all over them, and that looks like a tougher opponent. So I'm going to swim over towards them and immediately start my Shadow Kung Fu. So I'm going to roll a couple attacks here. 14 and 19, and then I'm going to spend a key point to do another attack that's a 20.
All right, 19 and 20 hit, 14 does not.
That is going to be 21 damage, and I'm going to spend another key point to do a stunning strike. So I'm going to try to interfere with the flow of ki in my opponent's body, and they have to succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the end of my next turn.
All right, Constitution for the little candy crab is going to be a 5. Dog shit.
That is a fail, unfortunately.
My Shadow Kung Fu has left you paralyzed in fear.
So yeah, you start unloading your fists of fury on the candy crab, and blood starts pouring into the water from your hand because you take 10 damage from hitting the crab's spiky carapace with your fist.
10 damage? Ruh-roh.
Yeah, you did 21 damage, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, half of 21 is 10.
Oh, no,
rounded down.
I take half the damage and mathematically this doesn't look good for me.
All right, Barbella, it's your turn. You see Reaper just completely shred their hand on the chitin of the candy crab.
Good thing I'm not planning on touching that thing. So, Fury of the Tides. I'm channeling the power of the ocean into my weapon attacks. I'm now going to do 2 melee attacks with my anchor. So let's do those. 21 on the first. 15 on the second. Do they both hit?
Those both hit on the candy crab?
Yep. Perfect.
All right.
And on the first one that hits, I'm going to use Divine Smite, where I can spend a spell slot to add some radiant damage to the attack. So that's another 10 damage. So that's 27 damage total. And the second attack, because of my Fury of the Tides, can launch that candy crab up to 10 feet away, which I'm going to try and hit it into the other crab, the blue crab.
All right. So you do enough damage. You just swing your anchor full on into the candy crab, and it says something. I don't think any of you understand. I just looked at your sheets to see what languages you know. Barbella, you're the only one who kind of recognize it. It's like a heavily accented primordial, which is a language you speak. It is the Aquan dialect, but it sounds basically like the candy crab says something along the lines of like, "Concern it," as you smack her away. At the blue crab.
Okay, so if it does hit the blue crab, then there's going to be some additional damage, which will be bludgeoning damage equal to my charisma, so an extra 2 damage.
All right. It is now Crab's turn. The big blue fiddler crab is going to take its giant pincer and try to crush your whole body with that.
Well, mine?
That's going to be 21 and 22. Yeah, you just smacked its friend.
I mean, that is fair. Yeah, sure. Both of those hit my AC.
All right. So, yeah, you are grappled. No save on that. And you are going to take 9 damage as the fiddler crab wraps you in its big claw and says, "Not Grandma, you motherfucker. I'm going to kill your ass."
I would really rather that not happen. Can we be friends? Have you ever heard of riddles? I've got so many of them. Several crab themed.
Boyce? Boyce, you see Barbella get picked up by the fiddler crab as it begins to crunch her bones.
Liz, there's no need to resort crushing people's insides and all that stuff. We're just trying to find some way to help out around here. Let's see what I can do. And they sort of flip through their book a little bit.
Oh, I see, Boyce. You also speak Primordial.
Yes, I do.
All right, yeah. Primordial is a language group that includes Aquan, the language of water. So you also understood these crabs, for the record. Your sheet has a different orientation. Your languages are on the right side instead of the left side. I see what happened here.
Can I ask a quick out-of-character question?
Crabsolutely.
Did the blue crab say you hit Grammy?
Correct.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought.
Not that your character knows that, but yeah.
My character doesn't know it, also probably would not care, but out of character, it's useful to know that is the granny.
Yeah, Reaper speaks Common, Undercommon, and Netherese. The language of shadow.
I just tried to pick the most metal languages I could.
I appreciate that.
So I think if there's any way I can do like some sort of forced movement to kind of help out here. Unfortunately, I have catapult, but that's not going to help in this situation here. I think what I'm going to have Boyce do, just for the sake of things, is I'm going to exploit one of my character's features, actually. So Boyce basically has what is akin to their Awakened Spellbook. And one of the features of the Awakened Spellbook is, when you cast a wizard spell with a spell slot, you can temporarily replace its damage type with a type that appears in another spell in your spellbook. And in this case, Boyce is going to try to cool things down a little bit here by casting the spell Acid Arrow, but replacing the damage with ice, with cold damage, basically. So they're going to attempt to attack with an ice arrow on what's the name of the crab with the big claw there? What's it?
That's a blue fiddler crab.
The Boyce is going to try to hit the blue fiddler with an ice arrow, as it were, and that is not going to hit. That is a 10. So they still take half the cold damage. So they take 7. They take 5 cold damage from that shot there. As Boyce tries to speak back in Primordial, along the lines of like, hey, now hold your seahorses there. We came here because we heard there was something that happened to the family over by the vent, and we're just trying to find out what happened, you know?
So Reaper is going to look over towards Boyce and say,
Why are you shouting in these weird words when we should be beating up these people who just tried to put a rock on us?
and then she's going to shoot over towards this crab, and like, the only way I can describe it is like every so often Dragon Ball Z characters will like shoot into frame with like a martial arts kick. That's what I'm going to try to do to this guy who's trying to crush Barbella.
There's just a single frame of Reaper in kick, and it just slides into frame, right into position with any other animation.
So 10, a 20, and a 23.
20 and 23 hit.
Yeah, so we're going to do...
Why do you attack 3 times at level 5?
Because I'm spending a key point to get an extra attack, a melee attack. So I do 2 weapon attacks and then another one. I still have 2 key points left at this point.
Actually, you don't need to do that. I think you get that bonus attack for free because of martial arts. You'd spend a key point to do flurry of blows to do 2 extra attacks. So you can attack 4 times with a key point.
It's the extra key point for that. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
Well, I already did roll the damage, so I'm just gonna do. It's 23 damage.
All right, yeah, you start just wailing on the blue fiddler crab, and it it's not happy about it, but its carapace is tough. You're not getting into the bruising meat that you're familiar with many opponents.
Well, taste my shadow martial arts, and I am gonna just spend that key point then to do stunning strike. So
All
let's
right,
get a
do
constitution check. Yep.
All right, this is the second time I think we've had a monk on the show recently. Stunning strike always seems OP because of the way we do the show. That's gonna be an 8. That fails.
That's a fail.
Everyone's powerless in front of my shadow martial arts.
Yeah, you hit some kind of pressure point or some kind of nerve, and suddenly the blue fiddler crab goes rigid. The claw pops open, and Barbella floats out. So it is your turn, Barbella. You can see the blue fiddler crab is stunned from that strike and is looking at you. It has two beady little eyes poking up the top, and it's just looking at you with a strange expression in its face.
Okay, now I'm gonna actually do my turn, but I have to. I've been looking for riddles because that's what I'm doing this season, and I stumbled upon the most forced crab joke I've ever heard, and I have no in-universe context for why I would tell you this, but I need to tell you all. Why are the Jedi against dissolving crustaceans in acid?
What the fuck?
This is a very specific one.
It's so
Yeah,
specific.
what the fuck?
Only a Sith deals in crab solutes.
Wow. That was, every so often you think of a word and you're like, I wonder how I can make this into a pun, and you really stretch it to make it work, and that was, someone worked backwards from this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
They heard the word crabsolute and they're like, okay, how can I make this work?
Yeah.
Think about how much of human society and culture had to occur for us to reach that. We had to independently invent language and Jedi and science.
I guess there's a paired riddle you could do for that, what is the coolest crab around? One that is Crabsolute 0. You could go for that, and that would work.
Look,
just
that
as
might
well,
have
I
worked,
think.
but I had to input that on all of you anyway.
That's also they're both good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a blue crab here. Barbella is gonna turn to the blue crab and go, "Hey, any chance we can not fight this out? We mean you no harm. You did attack us first, and I'm gonna be honest. A fist came flying. I fought back. Can we calm this down?"
Can I get an intimidation with advantage for your riddle? For your dealing in crab salutes?
I mean, I am also carrying around the leg of maybe this crab's granddad, if I'm gonna guess, which is probably pretty intimidating. 16.
That's with advantage, right?
Oh
So
no,
roll-
with advantage. Okay. Still 16.
All right, yeah, you succeed. You say this in Aquan, I presume.
Yeah.
So the blue crab looks up at you and says, "Why you got Papa Capeheart's leg if you ain't the ne'er-do-well?"
Oh, that. We found the leg and we wanted to make sure whoever's leg it was okay. So I took the leg so I could smell the leg and then follow the scent to find where the person whose leg it was. The smell is following me. Oh. Okay. Point being, I explicitly took this leg because I thought it was like teeth, and when I had my tooth knocked out, the doctor tried to shove it back in. I thought if I brought the leg, we could put the leg back on. Is that how you work?
This whole thing smells like low tide, but we ain't got no choice. You outnumber us, and you done bunk Grammy all up. And in the background, the candy crab, turning over as it floats away. She says, "I'm all right."
I'm sorry. You did attack us. My instinct is to attack back when attacked. You ambushed us, and I didn't have time to look at my book of riddles to find out whether I should attack back or not. Yeah, I repeat, is this how legs work? Do you want the leg back, or do I leave the leg?
Well, we exist in a world of magic and miracles, so yeah, hold on to the leg. Who knows? Maybe a cleric can put it back on. I ain't churchy type.
In retrospect, I'm very glad I didn't do the first thought that came in my head, which was I'm being attacked dual wield. I have a leg as a second weapon. That might have been disrespectful in hindsight.
Grandma Capeheart says, "Yeah, that would have been fucked up. Definitely don't do that."
Boyce is going to try to use Mage Hand to bring Grammy down. Though I have in my head, I like to think of the idea that when Mage Hand touches Grammy and coaxes her direction, it takes damage and disappears immediately afterwards.
Yeah, I'm a kind of a spiky type. Well, when you get to know me, I'm soft on the inside.
So this entire conversation is happening in Primordial.
Yeah.
Okay. So Reaper's
gonna stare in confusion and then just try to punch the blue fiddler crab again.
Oh my god! All right.
Oh no.
Does an 18 hit?
I mean, it does if no one intervenes. You all let Reaper punch Grandpa Capeheart.
Barbella gets in the way.
All right, roll damage on your fellow party member. I do like this though. You just throw your meat muscles in the way.
It's only gonna be 6 damage. It wasn't gonna be like a full out like attack roll or anything like that. I just like the idea Reaper's very confused as to what's happening, and she's just like, "We're still fighting, aren't we?"
Right. Sorry. Reaper, they're members of the family that we're looking for.
Oh. Well, perhaps that explains why they're so weak. And is going to like humph and look off to the side, rather embarrassed.
I just picture like a victory pose after a Smash Brothers match, but like with frustration.
Yeah. To be clear, had the fight continued, I would have won. Everyone knows that, right?
Grandpa Capeheart says, "Well, yeah, I hope so. I'm old as fuck. I'm a dusty ass bitch. Look at you. You got muscles for days. You can't beat up an old man."
Well, sometimes the oldest among us are the strongest.
Not often. I don't know what pond you come from, but it's kind of embarrassing. I almost got you. I picked up your whole body, young lady.
Oh, well, all that being said, many apologies, but do you know where the others are? We were sent out here to look for y'all.
Grandma Capeheart has now floated back over, and she says, "No, we heard commotion, and we saw our camp was all messed up, and we've been hiding. We don't know where the bad guys are. We don't know what's going on. You got a leg, or it's bad times."
You were attacked by someone before, and I want to note Reaper is not turning back to them when she says this. She is still gonna like have her back to them and like arms crossed. She's very much pouting right now as she like looks away, but she is curious to learn more.
Attacked? No, we haven't been attacked before. We came here. We found an event. We staked a claim. We started up a family business. We brought over the cousins, the uncles, the aunts, the nephews, Cletus. Cletus is a whole thing. It's not technically family. You know how it is. But we're minding our own business, and suddenly, limbs are coming off. Attacked. This is a family trench.
How did Papa Capeheart lose the leg then?
That's what we thought it was you. You got it. The possession of a leg is 9/10 of the law where I'm from.
I can give you back the leg.
There's a missed opportunity to say that possession is 9/10 of the claw. You
God damn it, motherfucker!
You fool!
It's gonna be this whole season. Grandpa Capeheart puts the tiny claw on your bicep, Barbella, and says, "No, you can keep the leg, sweetie. I can't carry it. And I'm old, and you look oh so very strong."
Well, I'm happy to keep the leg. I just wanted to be careful because I was looking through the book of riddles and looking through the crab section, and it advised against being shellfish. So I was trying to make sure I wasn't being rude by keeping it.
Oh, okay. Well, fuck me. Language has evolved in such a ways that we get to say shellfish. Ain't that a thing?
Yeah, it has. The wonders of the riddle fish, praise be.
At this point, I think they know enough common to include Reaper in the conversation, but it's pretty broken for you. So I don't want to cut Quinn out of the convo, but it's clear that they don't have a mastery over the language.
Yeah, we do a little translation to fill in the odd what's the word for that?
I guess we want to ask what do you have anything down here people would want or anything like that?
Yeah, the vent. It's untold riches. What are you talking about? We're in the middle of a vent rush. This is generational wealth. Miss Punch a lot?
The name's XX Black Ebon Reaper XX.
You would do yourself well to remember it.
Grandma Capeheart says, "Oh yeah, I seen this one around town. You a silly little one, ain't you? Oh bless your heart."
I am not silly. I am a master of darkness and all it prevails.
In such a way that that it cannot be understood, Barbella will respond, going, "Yeah, a bit silly."
I will say my crawl is not very profound, so I can't really I can't pick up all the lingo. But my question for you, out of character, was like, we know what the vent was, right? What particular materials in this vent, right?
You have absolutely no clue. It's never
we
been.
we haven't seen this vent yet. We ran into one, but we haven't seen this one.
Yeah, like so. Boyce will ask on the topic of your claim on this vent. Do you mind if I ask what material you get from here? I've been trying to make notes on that for construction purposes for all the homes I'm trying to put together here.
Oh, that's a family secret. We don't tell out to anybody. In fact, I don't even know it myself. Papa Capeheart keeps that one close to the carapace. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. I am gonna ask, do you think the mystery of it might lead more people to come and try and find out what it is? And therefore try and take it. Is this not making it more dangerous for you? Because I really want to know now that I know that you don't know and I can't know. I really want to know.
Yeah, of course people want to know. It's a whole mystery, and it's a lot of money tied up in it. Yeah, it's knowledge is power, and power is gold, and gold is food. I lost the metaphor there. Yeah, everyone wants to know.
Where is this vent?
Oh, that's supposed to be another secret. I guess if y'all ain't the ne'er-do-wells, maybe we could point you in the direction. But I don't know if it's safe. If there's people out here ripping legs off.
I defeated you in Mortal Kombat. You have to give me the location.
Ignore them. Okay, how about this? You know what's probably not a secret? The person whose leg this is, where are they? So we can bring them the leg back. Aha!
We don't know if we knew where Papa Capeheart was, we'd be with him. He's the one who's in charge.
Oh.
He's got many big legs. We would be here hiding behind boulders, waiting for bad guys.
Do you have a method of tracking him that is better than smelling his leg and then trying to smell where his leg is?
Ma'am, you have got to get over this whole scent thing. You need to see somebody. You need to talk to somebody.
No, I don't. Look, if you give me a better idea, I'll do a better idea. But right now I have one idea and it's smell. And I'm not very good at it.
All right, Barbella, persuasion?
Persuasion. Cool. 17.
All right, yeah, you have succeeded. Grandpa and Grammy Capeheart could have a little side huddle. They converse briefly, and then Grandma Capeheart comes back and says, "Well, you were so nice to take that punch. If you were a bad guy, you wouldn't have done that. So I'm gonna say you're gonna follow this trench the way you were going, and then there's a cave. You gotta go through the cave." It's the first one. It's the first cave you're gonna see, so you ain't gonna get confused. And you can follow that right to the end. You're gonna find the vent. Okay.
Thank you. I'll let you know if the leg goes back on.
Well, I appreciate that. Oh, sweetie, you just done so much for us today. We are sorry we bonked you on the head with a big boulder.
That's okay. I hit one of you I hit you with an anvil like twice. I think we're even.
What's an anvil?
This thing.
Sweetie, that's an anchor.
That's an anchor. I know words. I'm good at words. Look, if I got all of my words perfect every time, that's the realm of godhood. I'd be doing riddle snake shit at this point if I was good at the words.
All right, so you've all just had a big fight, and then you had a conversation, so you had enough time to roll hit dice. I don't know if we've talked about this season yet, but that is your healing resource. There are healing spells in the game, but for balance purposes, you don't need to use them necessarily. You just have a limited number of dice you can roll for your class to heal. Now would be the time to do that. and we're all going to move on. Is there anything you want to do or say with these characters? Because they have not been given a reason to go with you, so they're going to go back up on the sides of the trench and hide.
I want to make it very clear before they leave. Reaper's going to walk up to them and be like, I need you both to know that I am not silly. I am the envoy of darkness. And then I want to roll intimidation so they respect me.
All right.
I crit failed.
Oh, bless
my
your
God.
heart.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, oh, sweetie, you just keep it up. Someday, I'm sure people will respect you.
But everyone respects me now, don't they? I won the fight!
You sure did, sweetie.
There's just like a loud scream from Reaper in frustration. Oh man, I rolled dog shit on my healing dice. I used all of them.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Okay, would you like a lay on hands?
Let's see. I need 14. I'm missing 14 hit points currently.
Okay.
I can do a cure wounds as well to help with this too. So
Just a sec. I can give you how many do you need, sorry?
14, I believe.
I can give you all of those.
Oh, thank you kindly.
In order, because this is part of my divine paladin stuff, you are going to get a riddle in exchange for those hit points.
Okay. That's only fair.
3 doctors said Robert is their brother. Robert says he has no brothers. Who is lying?
Wait, who is lying?
Yeah.
I assumed this was like, neither, because they're sisters. All the doctors are women. This was about questioning my ability to respect women in the world.
Yeah, exactly. This is the riddle is, are you sexist? So yeah, Barbella reads this as healing energy goes into you.
Do you ever respect women so much that your wounds close up?
that's some obvious energy. Also, Austin, I have another bad pun for you for the book here. Clearly, if there's other crustaceans causing problems, they might be considered ne'er-do-shells in this case here.
I'm gonna have to go back in editing and say ne'er-do shells and everything. Yeah, fuck me.
If you ever need a consult, like, is there a bad pun we can force in here? Laura, all of us can find answers for you here. You know. All right.
They're also obvious in hindsight, right?
They only are obvious in hindsight. To be fair, though, once you get pointed to it, like, oh, of course that's what it could be. One thing that I could do to try to help things out as we're moving along is one of the rituals that Boyce has on hand is detect magic. So if we're investigating something, it might be useful to see if there might be some weird magical chicanery happening on around here via detect magic if there's an opportunity for it. But I think once we get our resources, then we're just gonna, be in our way.
I would like to note, as we are on our way, Reaper is loudly complaining about the 2 grandparents, saying, obviously I won the fight. It would be ridiculous to insinuate otherwise. That means I'm stronger. That means they should respect me. It's just that. So don't feel free to ignore her. She's just going to be pouting about this, basically.
I can imagine Barbella and Boyce talking while this is happening in the background.
Yes.
Just like,
yes, absolutely. You like, it is very clear she is just focused on this, so ignore her.
yeah, it's just sort of weird having a family business where members of the family don't even know what the raw material is. I mean, I guess it's just to keep it from possibly getting out into the public, but still curious.
I mean, what if the answer is like, it's hate your family juice comes out of the vent.
You mean like melted butter? I mean, if it was melted butter vent, that would be for one thing for sure.
it's like, only one of us can do the harvesting from the vent because otherwise we'd all hate each other. There's gotta just be one resentful person harvesting the hate your family juice, being like, oh, my damn family making me do this.
It's nothing but Old Bay infused melted butter. That's what it is. But as they move along, I think it's just keeping an eye out for other signs of like scuttling, ripped off limbs, or destruction on the way.
Yeah, can I get a nature check?
Certainly. That's a 15.
17.
That's a 2.
Yeah, with a 15 and a 17, I think Barbella, you're the highest roller, so I'll give you this. You're in this crevasse, which has a kind of completely different ecosystem to it than other parts of the underwater environment. So there are different things down here to be watchful for. One is because of that last fight when Reaper shredded her hand punching the candy crab, you have left a kind of trail of blood. And you, with your 17, are concerned about attracting deep sea predators. So that's the first thing I want to say to you.
Oh no.
You're looking for a cave up ahead that will lead you to the vent you're looking for. But I will say that looking down here, you see probably bones of animals that have been eaten by deep sea predators. None of these are the Capeheart family, who are crustaceans. They don't leave behind like fish bones. So I'm going to give you all that. And if you have any specific questions for me, I will let you know with some, because you got 15 and 17, so pretty good.
Can I offer something? I, as a shadow monk, have access to a couple spells, and one of the spells is Pass Without Trace. Can I cast that to cover up the trail that we're leaving behind?
Absolutely. Read Pass Without a Trace to the audience.
Yeah, so a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions from detection for the duration. You and each creature within 30 feet of you, including you, have a plus 10 bonus to dexterity stealth checks and can't be tracked except by magical means. We leave behind no tracks or other trace of this passage. So I like to think if Reaper is informed that she is leaving a trail of blood behind, she will summon the shadows around her to create almost like a shadowy red carpet that they will follow along with to cover up any tracks.
Do the two of you react to this as if it's usual and normal, or you're like, oh shit, she actually does have shadow powers? Because I think there's definitely a part of me that was like, if Mike, it's like, oh, this is someone who has is like a chunibyo or something, and like none of this shit is real.
Look, as a religious woman, I think Barbella looks at this and goes like, yeah, everyone's got their own weird little. You believe a thing enough, magic happens. That's just sort of how it is.
I will say that Boyce will give a quizzical look, but then kind of catch on to what's going on. Gowdy, their fractal familiar, he's a little unnerved by this and kind of nervously skitters about, passing through everyone in the party as it moves to kind of find a more comfortable spot before settling up by Boyce. Because I'll just throw this as a fun side note. The fractal familiar can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. So it can just move through people.
All right, let me get those stealth checks that you've just cashed in your Pass Without a Trace for.
So it's gonna be a plus 10 for the stealth checks, correct?
Yeah.
25.
27.
21.
All over 20. So the group successfully hides from the deep sea predator that is following the blood trail. I'm just going to pop him into the roll 20 just so you can get a look at him. It's kind of hard to find a picture of this thing that was really disturbing.
Yeah, this one's really normal. This one's like class picture day quality.
Yeah, exactly.
I like how you made it bigger.
This is a goblin shark. Really fits the name there because it looks like a little goblin. It has a like separate jaw that juts out of its face, and it has a big horn, almost like a swordfish. Not quite that long, but just the very unusual head structure. And they can kind of almost independently move that jaw out of their head in a really upsetting way. And I tried to find a picture that wouldn't actively hurt anyone looking at it.
The only way I'm trying to describe this image, and it's what if, sometimes when someone has a beard and they shave it and their face doesn't look right anymore. It's that.
Yeah. If you ever, goblin sharks, their mouth it doesn't look like it should fit their face, but they're real. They're a real underwater creature.
I see why you usually have a beard. You're covering up the weird face shape.
Yeah. But you see this one, it goes above you. It's like looking around, sniffing for the blood, and all of you are shrouded in shadows, and it passes over. So it's in the area, but you do not need to roll initiative for now. Up ahead, you see a hole in the side of the trench, this cave you're looking for. How are you all proceeding?
Ooh, I want to do a spell I've not done yet that I have. I have a thing called augury, where I can do some kind of divining to find out whether something we're about to do is going to go well or poorly. The rules as written suggest you have some sticks you throw on the ground or you roll dragon bones or something. Obviously, Barbella would just open the riddle book on a random page and see whether it sounds good or bad. But I think that this is a good opportunity to use this spell. So we have to Barbella has to set a specific thing we're planning to do in the next half hour to get an omen from the gods as to how it's going to go. And I'm trying to work out exactly what's. I think Barbella would throw it out to the group to be what would be useful to find out. What plan could we find out if is good or bad that would help?
Should we rush straight in and fight whoever we see?
Right. Because if the answer is no, then we got to proceed with caution. But if it's yes, then it's just, yeehaw, and let's just barrel on through,
Okay. Riddle Snake. We plan to run headfirst into this cave and attack the first person we see recklessly. Will this go well or poorly? Riddle Snake.
Do you need to tell the Riddle Snake that I'm here and I am the ultimate fighter?
Don't worry, the Riddle Snake knows.
Excellent. At least the Riddle Snake knows that I'm not silly.
All right, so this is a ritual, so it does not take a spell slot. You just need the time to do this.
Yeah, we're sneaky enough. We're not actively being followed at the second we've got the time to do it. I really need some time to flip through the book and be yeah, this is the page.
Yeah. So what does this look like? What are you actually doing in physicality here?
Yeah, I think it is very much that Barbella is sat down on the ground in a sort of almost like the position you would associate with a meditation, with the book laid out on the floor, closed on the ocean floor, and Barbella is just the quietest and most just taking a breather that you've probably ever seen her, and then just when the moment strikes, open on random page, stick a finger on a riddle without opening her eyes.
That's awesome.
It reminds me of books. There are some RPGs actually that have books where they have dice numbers printed on them. So if you don't have dice, you can just flip to a random page and get the result for the dice roll.
Yeah.
Same energy here. So.
All right, so you open up your riddle book and go into a meditation trance and then point to a random page and you get the riddle. What did the digital clock say to its mother?
I don't know.
Look, Ma, no hands.
Interesting. To me, that sounds like don't go in, ready to fight. Like don't go in ready to throw hands.
That's how I interpret it as well.
Right. See, you can interpret shit from riddles.
I like the implication here that digital clocks exist.
We've established on the dry side as well that there's a technological dissonance because of the thousands of years of D&D history where empires have risen and fallen and society has been destroyed and rebuilt. So there has been there's still like ancient forerunner technology that is referred to in ancient books, even if you don't necessarily know what a digital clock is, Barbella.
Yeah, honestly, Austin, I am so happy that my stupid gimmick works. In that they're interpreting something from the results of a riddle is plausible. This brings me joy.
Yeah, I can't believe I found something that worked. And actually,
right? No, Austin, this is the thing. When you start looking, it's really fucking easy to find a riddle and go, yeah, I can make that fit.
All right. Yeah, so you are all hunkered down in darkness in the trench. The goblin shark is, in the area. You can see it circling, but you're like hiding under, an overhang or something as Barbella does her augury, and then you're ready to go. You have your answer for this spell, which is bad results. Is the in the spell that I've given you if you go in swinging.
Yeah, go in calmly, not ready to throw hands.
See, I like the idea of like the reason why it's taking the literal interpretation of throwing hands. You rip off your hands and throw them, and you have no hands anymore. So obviously, it's a bad plan.
All right, what do you do?
I think we should still enter, but just we approach cautiously.
Agreed. Barbella will go in with like hands up as if to say, I'm not here to attack you. See, I will not throw my hands at you.
They're still attached to my body, as you can see. They're still attached, not thrown.
All right, I'm leaving the goblin shark picture here because it is still in the area and it may be attracted if more blood is spilled. But if you all are entering the cave hands up, can I actually get performance to do this?
Oh no!
To make a big show.
Yeah. Okay. Performance.
6.
11.
Crit fail 1. I think Reaper is not like Reaper is going along without fighting, but she is not going along with like the hands up thing. Just like, no, you need to be always ready in a battle stance.
Just arms crossed with indignation. She did not commit to the bit there.
Yep. All right. So you all enter the cave, and it is a pretty standard kind of underwater geographical formation. There's not like anything notable about the interior of the cave at first, but as you're entering, because of this botch, Reaper, you don't hear what happens behind you, which is someone rises out of the silt. They were buried in the dirt. They rise up behind you and they put a claw to your throat and take you hostage. And I'm going to put a picture in the Roll20 of what this little person looks like.
That image is what comes
It's
up
so
if
cute.
you look up the word crab. This is just the word crab.
It's just, like if I would type crab, comma cute.
This is a horned ghost crab. You can see on top of its eyes, it has what appear to be horns. There's these sharp projections, and it is eerily white to mix in to be stealthy on white beach sand. So it rises up, like a silent assassin, and before you can do anything, Reaper, claw to your throat, ready to rip it out. But the rest of you, you came in with some augury. I don't know what you want to do about this, but the crab person in Aquan just says, "Drop your weapons."
Can do. We're not here to throw hands. We're not here to fight. We're here to bring a leg back.
Like Boyce just has their hands of like, listen, I got no. Wait, is that Cletus? Are you Cletus, or is you someone else in the family?
How dare you Drop your spell book now, wizard boy. I'll rip this thing in half.
Hey, Grammy sent us to bring the leg back.
Anchor now. I'm going to actually say...
Barbella has already dropped it.
All right, 2 damage as the claw begins, pressing into your neck flesh, Reaper.
Reaper is going to kind of casually say, like, even as this is happening and she's taking damage, she's like, are we doing another talking thing yet? Can you let this one know that I'm not silly?
Boyce will shrug their satchel that has their spellbook in it onto the floor, and then just sort of proceed to keep hands up. Just
what's going on? Why is everyone dropping their weapons?
Yeah. Hey, we're just trying to get Pop's leg back. We think it's like a tooth. A tooth falls out and you put the tooth back in. We're trying to get the leg back.
That sounds like something that someone would say if they wanted me not to cut their friend's head clean off. So, I'm going to need a little bit more than that.
Yeah, but we met Graham. Pink told us where the cave was here so that we could bring the leg back. That's where we got the directions from.
You with the banana boys?
No,
we're curious about the banana boys. Are they attacking bananas or are they bananas attacking people? Do you know that?
Well, they're business boys. They're business banana boys. The Baron's business banana
but
boys.
are they bananas or are they in the business of bananas?
Well, they're barely in the business of bananas.
All right, is business just a brand or is it an identity? That's really what we're trying to understand from that perspective. But as far as we can tell, this is the second time we've witnessed something adjacent to as you say, the Banana Boys being involved. But we are not part of them. We are investigating them, if anything.
So you ain't with them bothersome banana boys, the bothersome business banana boys?
No. Barely.
No.
Barely, oh shit. The alliteration's failing me. I'm sorry here.
Roll persuasion? Not you, Reaper.
I was going to say, I think I'm staying out because my character doesn't know what's happening. It just assumes these guys are having a productive conversation.
14.
All right, you both got above average, so she doesn't expose Reaper's trachea to the ocean. But I needed 15 for her to believe you. She's considering it. She says, "Well, I'm Mama Capeheart, and you got my husband's leg, so I ain't gonna let this one go. But I'm open to the possibility that you ain't with the Baron's business banana boys."
No, we got sent here to find out if you and the family were all okay, and we found a leg, and that was concerning, and I tried to follow the smell of the leg, and that just led me to the leg. That was not a good plan. I'm not good at remembering words, because I'm pretty sure that Graham probably said some things that we could remember and tell you, and then you would know, oh yeah, Graham's told you that. I'm not good with words. I could tell you riddles.
Do not do that.
Do you want to know a riddle?
I do not want any riddles. I've seen your church. I ain't interested. I ain't interested in what you selling.
Well, I mean,
okay, that's okay. I respect your right to have other beliefs than mine.
The school sent us over here to take a look into the situation. We saw the effect of the Banana Boys up above, and we came down to investigate what went wrong, and I mean, look, shucks. I mean, one of the things I wanted to say is that if there's any issue with your home in terms of damage or otherwise because of them, I've been more than happy to help to try to make things better in terms of, getting a new home put together for you and the whole family. Graham and Gramps noted how many people are there, and that's a lot. That's a big family, and it deserves a good home and a safe home, especially when you have your stake on this event that you want to profit from.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, our camp been fully destroyed. I don't know what happened exactly, but the last couple of days, the Baron's business banana boys been coming by trying to buy up all our event stuff. And Papa don't want to sell. It's our stuff. We ain't selling to nobody. So if they want to kick over our house, we'll just build a new one.
as you should. This is, it sounds like almost a bit of Boulder Dash in terms of just the antics that they are getting up to. But I guess the question is, so we still don't know where Pops is.
No, he disappeared. You found his leg, apparently. I've been looking around. Their cousins all over. Fucking Cletus fell in a big hole. Fuck that guy. I don't even care. He can die in a hole for all I care.
That's how you know we spoke to Grams. We mentioned Cletus. How would we know about Cletus if we hadn't spoken to Grams?
My apologies for confusing you for Cletus, ma'am. In any case,
Fucking everyone knows about Cletus. Everyone is also seen that motherfucker. You don't remember?
I didn't know about Cletus.
Last week, they got fucking stuck in an urchin. Got all fucking stuck in his spines. Just like, that's a fucking neighbor. You can't be stepping on him. You fucking Cletus. Son of a bitch.
I was just gonna note, Reaper, while this is going on, when you leave Sonic idle for too long and he starts tapping his foot? That's what Reaper is doing. I believe she fundamentally does not understand she is being held hostage right now, and she's just I have to wait for them to finish their conversation, I guess.
Absolutely.
All right, well, listen, is there anything that we could do for the media to de-escalate this matter? Because it looks like we all want the same outcome in terms of making sure Pops is safe and making sure that the Banana Boys have bungled their way into their last brouhaha that they would get wrapped up in.
Oh, you know what I could do? Barbella is going to cast Zone of Truth.
All right, Paladins.
Yeah, Paladin. And he's going to create this sort of magical truth zone and go, would you be more willing to believe that we are not here to hurt you, we are here to help, if I say it here in the magic truth circle where I have to tell the truth?
Is Mama Capeheart also in the Zone of Truth?
Yes.
All right, a Zone of Truth, it seems pretty self-explanatory, but if you don't know, it is a truth zone. Yeah. It's a zone that makes truth. She needs to save on a charisma saving throw, so I'm going to roll that now. 11.
That's not gonna do.
All right, so she's not. Yeah. She is not able to resist the Zone of Truth. So you say, "Will you believe me if we do it in the Zone of Truth?" And she says, "Yeah, but I'm going to complain the whole time. I'm gonna be a right annoying ass about it. Definitely."
That's okay. I'm gonna be having this conversation while thinking about riddles I'm not telling you. I'm gonna be thinking them though. But I won't be here to hurt you. I'll be here to help you. That much is true.
It seems you've made your mind a riddle prison. I don't know about that one. It seems like a psychological damage.
Hey, I worked out not to come in and just punch you without having a conversation because of a riddle. Riddles are pretty good. I'm not pushing them on you. You are welcome to not enjoy riddles, but I'm going to be bursting with them until we're done talking, but I'm not going to hurt you, though, because we're in the truth zone.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you just said you weren't going to hurt me, and we're in the truth zone, so I'm going to let your little friend go. Takes the claw off your neck, Reaper. In the back of the cave where you came in, you can see a shadow pass over. The goblin shark still looking for you. If a fight had broken out, it would have smelled the blood, and it would have attacked. So you have avoided that consequence thanks to the augury. Paladin abilities, real good stuff today, Barbella.
Yeah. Barbella is gonna take this opportunity to turn to our friend of darkness and just go, "Hey, how are you feeling right now?"
I'm at the absolute pinnacle of power, like I always am. Why?
Definitely not insecure about anything right now. No.
Why would I be insecure, even though those fools called me silly, which I'm absolutely not, and I was winning that fight?
I'm sure you were. Now come stand over here and tell me that again.
Reaper's going to, confusedly walk over and just be like, why would it matter if I said anything over here? The answer is still the same, of course. I am the greatest warrior who's ever lived, and some people don't respect me, which is stupid of them. And it makes me sad.
Do you want a hug?
No. Nah. And Reaper's gonna walk away. she's so confused why she can't say no, and she's just going to leave.
Aw.
Oh, we're gonna get you that hug by the end of the season.
Just the one. Well, with that all aside, I guess the next thing is we were heading this way because we were directed towards the vent this way to see if Pops was in this direction, but I'm assuming he's not in this direction.
Mama Capeheart says, I ain't seen a leg nor claw until you just brought the fucking leg in here, so I don't know where Papa is. I assume Banana Boy's got him, or I don't know. We all been running around trying to hide. You said you saw Grandpa and Grandma? How are they?
Good. They ambushed us pretty effectively.
They sure did.
Hell yeah.
Dropped a whole boulder on us and everything.
Crabs of that generation, they don't fuck around. They seen shit. You don't know.
So I makes me wonder, hey, y'all got a look at those Banana Boys? Were they like wearing anything in particular, or were they just like, was there any sort of identifying thing other than, of course, the banana badges that they have?
No, that's their whole thing. It's, that's how you know they're the Banana Boys, because they have the little things that show you that they work for the Banana Baron. But it's just regular folk, as far as I know.
This banana person. These perhaps who these badges belong to, yes? Where can I find them and see if this fruit warrior lives up to everything my mind assumes of them?
I mean, I assume that the whole reason they're doing all the secret banana stuff is because they don't want to be found.
Does anyone know the spell Find Banana?
Well, where would someone hide out around here besides the places everyone who's ambushed us has hid out in?
Well, this is Capeheart territory. The only people you're gonna find down here are the Capehearts. All right. Now we sent them Banana Boys packing. They ain't in here no more.
Well, which way did they go? And I want to try an intimidation roll.
All right.
I want to be very powerful in this moment. I got a 6.
Yeah, you get up in her face, she just pokes you right in the fucking eye.
These cowardly tactics! I just wanted to know which way they went! I'm trying to help you!
You take 3 damage. She is just a hard ass matriarch of the family.
She's the one that's in charge most of the time. All right, so are you speculating that Pops was maybe was crab napped and taken out of this whole area entirely, or just somewhere deeper in the trenches?
If I knew where Papa was, I'd be there. Why would I be here? Hiding in a cave from a fucking shark.
Oh, you're hiding from the shark? Why not just murder it and be on your way?
Because it's fucking much bigger than me and especially adapted to eat folk like me. It's whole jaw situation. I don't know if you saw it. It's a crushing mechanism, and I'm crushable, and I'm full of sweet, tangy meats.
Then if we killed the shark for you, would you just tell us what we need to know?
Oh, damn. I hadn't thought of that. That's pretty sick.
Sure, I'm not crushable at all. In fact, you could say I'm the one who does the crushing.
So that was also Austin saying I hadn't actually thought of that, but yeah, I was trying to hunt you, or if you would have turned the tables, I guess she will leave the cave.
I mean, I'm up for it. I'm not going to force it upon the rest of the party.
Yeah. Barbella is fully on board with that plan because that plan does allow us to do fighting, and she's good at that. If she's not allowed to be doing riddles right now, she should be allowed to be fighting something. That's her 2 settings.
Also, part of the thing here is if blood had been drawn and the shark would have attacked you, you would have been disarmed because I took your weapons at the beginning of the interaction. But if you are picking them up before you make any attack, it's going to drastically change the math.
Yeah, it is. We get our weapons and we can get the jump on the shark.
All right. So, Boyce, you're the brains of the operation, and you've crushed initiative. So you paint me the picture. So, what's going on? Or what does this look like? So you are all in an underwater cave at the bottom of the sea. There's a shark sniffing around, looking for your blood. What do you do?
So what Boyce is going to do is first instruct Gotti to sort of like stay behind and actually increase their size to large, so they sort of like put almost like a blockade between themselves and oh shoot and Mama Crab over there. So basically to offer some extra protection for her. Boyce is gonna lay low towards the mouth of the cave, wait for the goblin shark to kind of pass by, doing like a little bit of shush, adjusting their hat, and then they will open with an acidic guiding bolt on the goblin shark here.
All right.
So basically, taking guiding bolt normally does radiant damage. Boyce is going to transpose it to make it do acid damage. Tarnation, that's only a 14. That probably is not going to hit anything.
It does, in fact, hit. The goblin shark is not wearing plate mail, to your knowledge.
Well, okay. In that case there, it takes 14 acid damage, and more notably, the next attack roll made against the target before the end of my next turn has advantage, thanks to mystical dim light that glitters on the target until that attack is made.
Well, that's good, because that's me going next. So Barbella is gonna dash in at speed in order to start swinging that anchor around. So, first attack is with advantage.
16 hits.
Cool. Let's pop a Divine Smite on that. So that'll be another 8, so 17 damage.
All right, so Reaper is going to like shoot into this fight, like she is swimming very hard and like gonna come in with like a flurry of strikes to really try to just take this thing out quickly. So I'm going to do 2 attacks, a 12 and 18, and then I'm going to spend a key point to do 2 war attacks. But those are 12, so I think only 1 hits.
Only the 18 hits, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? I'm going to do 8 damage.
All right. So the ambush is a streak of guiding bolt comes out of the cave, slams into the side of the goblin shark, and then Barbella and Reaper pounce and start wailing away on it. This shark is like, larger than any of you. It's not the biggest kind of shark that exists, but it's pretty sizable, and its body twists with surprising speed as it's going to look at you, Reaper. You have a tiny wound on your neck where Mama Capeheart was holding you, which activates the ability Blood Frenzy. Are you ready?
Sure.
You don't sound like you're ready. I feel like you could be ready here.
Yes, bring it on, pathetic worm.
Wow. All right. So it's going to be an advantage. That's a crit and a 26. Blood Frenzy. Shark has advantage on melee attacks against any creature that doesn't have all its hit points.
Joke's on you, Yorsky. All of those attacks would have landed anyways.
Basically, as a reaction to a creature succeeding on an attack roll, I could force it to do another attack roll and take the lower roll. So what I could do is use my reaction, pop Silvery Barbs, and on the crit, force it to roll 1 more time and take the lowest of those 3 rolls, I believe is what it is in that case.
All right, so what does this look like as you force the shark to not get the crit and instead just do a sick damaging bite, which still is going to hit with a 26, but not a crit.
It's not a crit. That's the important thing here. Like, I would like to imagine that what it ends up being is sort of like Boyce kind of reaches out, like their hand, be like, hey, look, hey. I'm trying to do the best way to describe how this went. It's effectively like a pocket sand type of thing where Boyce kind of lets out like a rush of glittering particulate matter that sort of distracts the goblin shark, so a strike is not quite as true. So while Reaper is going to get hit twice, It's not a crit, and that's the important thing that matters. More importantly, Reaper then has advantage on their next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw it makes within 1 minute. So
Hot dog.
that's it.
All right. Here's the damage. 25.
That is a lot of damage. I'm not down, but I am hurt very significantly.
Removing the crit probably helped.
Yeah, it's a really, really strong bite. The whole jaw almost like disgorges out of the front of the shark's face and tries to, get your torso into its mouth. And it just has these really sharp, strangely shaped teeth that just start tearing into your body. We're back to Boyce.
You want my blood beast? You can't handle it all.
Don't worry, Reaper. I'm gonna come stand near you in a minute so I can block the next one.
What to do. I'm going to I'm trying to see if there's any other elemental damage type that might do something against the goblin shark here. I'm going to use another first level spell to attempt to do a guiding bolt, this time an ice enchanted one. That's an 18.
That hits.
That's 13 cold damage, and the next attack against the goblin shark has advantage. Like, Boyce is just handing out advantage and disadvantage like a mofo in this fight here. As a bonus action, they can't do too much at the moment there, so that's all they can do while kind of being on standby here. And that takes care of it.
Cool. Barbella's gonna go stand in front of Reaper to be able to impose disadvantage on future attacks, and is gonna start swinging that anchor around more, because that is the primary method of attack here.
Advantage on the first one. Let's go.
Okay, the first one is a 23. The second one's an 11. 23 will hit. Another 10 damage.
All right. You bonk the shark again. It's still focusing on the bleeding Reaper whose turn it is.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Now I can impose disadvantage if it goes for Reaper.
All right. I'm going to. All right. So it already has disadvantage. So that'll change one thing I was going to do. So instead of trying to go onto a defensive, I'm just going to go on more of an offensive. So I'm going to roll my first attack with advantage. Woo! Almost was a botch. So I'm glad for that advantage. Then I'm going to continue. An 11, I think, is a miss, but then I'm going to spend another key point for 2 more attacks, a 17 and an 8. So I think only 2 of those hit.
Yep, the 22 and the 17.
I'm going to deal 15 damage, and I would like to attempt a stunning strike with my last key point.
All right, let's see here. Constitution saving throw, and then you're going to be out of resources for the rest of the arc?
Until my next short rest.
All right. 13.
13 is exactly what you needed to hit. I will not be able to stun you.
All right. Oh, so this is great. So you're like half of your torso is in its mouth. It's crunching you up, and then you hit it in what you think is like, a chi point, like on its neck or something. And for a minute, it goes like limp, and you're like, oh, I did it. And then it just resumes ripping you apart because it was more confused than stunned. 26 and 11.
26 is a... Or wait, no, this is with disadvantage?
Oh, it's because if... sorry, let me read it here. My fighting style is protection. When a creature I can see attacks a target other than me that's within 5 feet of me, I can use my reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack.
All right. So that's going to be 11 and 12 are my attack rolls then.
Those do not hit.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Woo!
All right. So what does that look like? Barbella, are you just grab the goblin shark by the horn and it can't get its weird mouth all the way to Reaper?
Yeah. I think this is Barbella just wildly swinging the anchor like at range and being like, no, stay an anchor's width away. Get.
It's a good thing you have that fighting style. I feel like Reaper might have been in trouble there. I rolled really well.
Yeah, it is the primary thing I've built my character around, is be able to just be tanky and make people harder to hit. And then I smack him with melee attacks, and that's my whole character.
All right, let's see here. It looks like in terms of my spell slots, I'm going to do another level 1 guiding bolt, this time keeping it radiant. That's a 16 for the attack roll, and 13 radiant damage on the hit. As Boyce is just deploying more, like basically for this goblin shark, it's like every time it gets hit, like its body glows in a way that feels kind of unnatural being this deep in the water. It's almost like acting as a beacon effectively because it's being lit up in a way that might be a little unnatural for it down here.
I'm just trying to work out whether lay on hands is a bonus action or is an action. No, it's an action. Okay, so I'm not going to do it now then. That's fine. I'm going to stay stationed, ready to impose disadvantage for Reaper, and I'm going to get back to swinging that anchor around.
Yep.
Do I have advantage again?
On the first attack, yes.
Yep. First attack is a 14. The second is a 23.
Both of those hit.
Cool. First one does 4 damage. Second does 8, total of 12.
Oh, not very strong hits, but you do hit the shark twice more, and we're at Reaper again.
All right, I'm gonna make my attacks. You think you're getting the better of me, Toothy? And I'm going to roll twice. I got an 8, a 14, and a 9, so I think I only hit once.
Only the 14 hits, yeah.
And my rolls have been pretty bad against this shark. It really fucked me up. I rolled minimum damage as well, so 5 damage.
Oh, so many red ones in the roll 20 now. 3 in the last 2 turns. So yeah, you and Barbella are slugging away, but it has just enough strength to try one more time to rip you open, and I'm going to roll...
With disadvantage again?
Absolutely. 18 and 18. One of those was a crit.
Fuck.
Holy Lord.
Okay, well, we dodged the crit at least, I guess.
I want your rolls. What is this? You hit fucking 19, 20, and 9? Oh, you have +9. That's why.
Yeah, this goblin shark is a bad hombre. You did not want this guy to ambush you. The fact that you ambushed it leveled the playing field significantly, but not a pushover. Let's roll damage here. My word, 32.
Okay. I am unconscious. I am not outright dead, but I came very close to being outright dead.
Oh,
All right,
God.
what does this look like? Paint a picture. This is the first time, in wet at least, anyone has been dropped to 0. When that happens, you don't die. You enter, death saving throw territory, which we'll discuss, but also there's going to be a consequence. Sometimes it's just a cool scar. Sometimes it's something, narrative shifting. So this is the first time. What happens to Reaper?
So, amusingly, I would like to call back to earlier about the idea of losing a limb and being losing a leg and being that's the sign of a weak warrior.
Oh, no.
It felt like too wild of a move to lose a leg in episode 2 of the season. So I'm instead going to say it is a cool shaped scar on the chest. What's a cool symbol that could be on the chest? Luffy already does the X, but I think I'm still gonna do the X because it's the coolest.
It is.
See, that's the cool one. I was going down the realm of you because it's a shark and it's got that bite. It looks like a banana-shaped scar, and now everyone just thinks you're in the Banana Boys.
Oh, that's cursed. I like to think that the X scar goes through the body, so it's actually a scar that goes not just on the surface; it's all the way through.
Boyce, it's your turn. You see the goblin shark is eating your friend.
Boyce just gets a bit panicked at that. Obviously, it's just shucks, this is not what I was hoping for. Here we go, and I'm trying to end this fight quickly, but I also don't want to burn all my spell slots too fast. So we're gonna do a Ray of Frost to try to. That's a 20, not a natural 20, but just a 20 on the attack there. That's 8 cold damage on the goblin shark for the time being there.
Lethal or non-lethal?
Lethal.
I would say that Boyce normally would want to do non-lethal. I think the panic of seeing Reaper being taken out like that, made Boyce's hand a bit unsteady, and they shoot the goblin shark right in the eye and freeze its brain effectively.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that'll do it, huh? When its brain is frozen solid, it stops chewing on Reaper and just starts floating to the bottom of the trench. What are you all doing right at this moment? Picking me this whole thing. So Reaper, you can be stabilized. The way this normally works is if combat had continued, you start rolling to see if you live or die, but there are 3 other characters who can try to help you, so...
Barbella is going to swim over and just use Lay on Hands to throw 11 HP on Reaper.
That's right, you fool! Now you're the one who's perished. Reaper's gonna say as she points to the goblin shark.
What?
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is
I get why the crab was afraid of that. It was a powerful warrior with many teeth.
It sure was, buddy.
But it was no match for the ultimate fighter.
all right. Just hang there for a moment, Reaper. You'll be just fine. Boyce is going to use a use of Cure Wounds to slap another 6 hit points on top of Reaper while checking them over. And as Gaudy just sort of like slides on over and opens up the cave for Mama Crab there.
Well, thank y'all kindly. That thing for sure would have ate my whole body straight the fuck up, so... What a success.
Yep. We are not here to hurt you, as established by the Truth Zone and also our actions.
Well, I guess that makes y'all friends of the Capeheart family, so I will show you the secret tunnel that'll take you to the vent quicker, now that leaving the cave will not get us immediately chompified.
You do that. That's what you do. When someone's want to fight, you give all tidings to them.
Now that we're friends, it doesn't I don't even have to say it too...
We're family. We're family now. Y'all are honorary Capehearts.
Now that we're family, I've been bursting to say a riddle, and I don't have to say it to you, but can I at least, just generally say it, because it's been bubbling up in me.
Knock yourself out as long as you show up with presents at Christmas time, because you are now obligated as part of the Capeheart family. Also, you are going to be on Green Bean Patrol for Thanksgiving, and I don't want you to skimp on Easter chocolates either.
How much of the extended family do I have to bring presents for? Is this every single cousin's got to get something?
Well, Cletus is not included. We're going to establish they're not included in the present, I believe, right?
Now, Cletus is more of a family friend. We say it's my cousin, but ain't really. But, you can't forget the nieces, the nephews, the second cousins twice removed. There's the sister-in-laws, the godfathers, all them. You leave anybody out, you're going to cause a feud.
I will only provide gifts for those who can best me in combat.
You're what, laying against the wall of the cave, bleeding from your chest?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, right now that's everyone, Reaper. Right now that's everyone.
No! I beat Grabby and Grandpa! I'm not silly!
This motherfucker's silly as hell.
Yeah. I'm the one that goes around saying riddles all the time, but that one's silly.
Yeah. Are you gonna tell us the riddle?
Okay, here's the riddle. What word looks the same upside down and backwards? Swims.
Wait, what?
Swims.
Does it?
The word swims looks the same if you mirror it or put it upside down.
I've learned so much today.
Right?
Is that a riddle or just kind of like a quirk?
It's a riddle. It's in the laminated book of riddles. The riddle snake wouldn't put it in here if it wasn't a riddle.
If there was a recipe, for a delicious dinner in the riddle book, it would also be a riddle at the same time, So, Actually, now that I think about it, that'd be a great idea. A recipe that's also a riddle. I gotta see if there is such a thing as that to give to the church there.
Fascinating.
All right, who's going to drag the shadow lady? I got to take you to the secret tunnel. Come on.
I'm not dead. In fact, I could never die. Not until I bring him back.
What? Did it bite your brain too? What are you talking about?
Nothing. Ignore me.
And Reaper is going to look off into the distance again in like a brooding manner.
Like Gotti is gonna slither up by Reaper and nudge her a little bit before slithering past. Almost like offering a ride, just right around on the mathematical construct that is the fractal familiar.
What is this thing? I've stared at it for so long and I don't know what it is.
Oh, I mean, that's just Gotti. Gotti's just a natural consequence of calculations and, mathematic proofs and truths. They're my partner in crime. They help me when it comes to presenting possible house constructions. You see, they can change to manifest as sort of a representation of my diagrams for houses and the like. And so, they're my partner.
Wait, your friend is math?
Well, I mean, math is everyone's friend, first and foremost. I mean, that's just a true statement.
Oh, I don't know. Numbers hurt my brain.
But yeah, you just sit down and you write the right formulas, and after a certain period of time, one of these fellows just comes about.
You're a nerd. You're a nerd with a math friend.
I don't think I ever hid the fact that I'm either a nerd or having a math friend. So guilty as charged.
I just thought it was a weird thing of lights that followed you around.
Well, that is true, but it can also become big. It could grow through people and objects, and it's just my pal Gotti there.
Is it doing the math right now? With us?
Well, so there are certain mathematical functions that if you start them going, they kind of just
I'm
escalate
just gonna start walking.
No. Listen. Okay, it's a converging problem, not a diverging problem. I mean, it's not an infinite thing. And Boyce is trying to follow, trying to describe limits. It's just like. You see, infinity is just a concept. It's not really a thing. So when someone says infinity plus one, that's just nonsense. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever if you think about it.
Mama Capeheart climbs up on the math construct and is riding it because Reaper passed on that opportunity as she takes you deeper into the cave. And if you had, rebuffed her or just killed her and continued on, you would have found yourself having to go through some dangerous tunnels with monsters and traps and so forth. But she takes you to there is a secret hatch that she can pull away. That is in the seafloor, and it leads down another narrow passage, and she takes you right to the vent. So before you see the vent that has been what appears to be the cause of all these problems is this valuable source of some kind of material. Is there anything anyone wants to say or do before you lay eyes on the Capeheart vent?
Yeah, so Boyce is just getting some spell slots back, double checking their calculations while Gotti just sort of slides around with Mama Crab on their back, which I'm going to remind again, Boyce is familiar, has almost the same AC as Boyce and almost the same hit points as Boyce as well. It could just exist as a diversion to take the tax and stuff. We'll have to think about that for the future there. But I guess the main thing that Boyce would want to, there's a few things we could talk about, but I think otherwise that's all I wanted to do before we close things down as we moved on. I think we had some good conversations otherwise.
Reaper is going to cast Minor Illusion again to create the Shadow Whispers. She really needs to look cool right now.
Barbella is preparing for potentially having to go into combat, and what that means for her in this moment is she's made a little makeshift belt loop to put the crab leg in so that she can dual wield the anchor.
All right, Barbella, you two-hand the anchor as you reach the exit of the cave, and ahead of you, you see what appears to be a column of red smoke coming out from the sea floor. This is the thermal vent that the Capehearts have a claim to, and as you approach, you see, it spouts up out of the ground and creates kind of this red cloud, and that kind of obscures your surroundings for a moment. If you had come here without Mama Capeheart, this would be the point when you realize coming out of the red smoke are dozens of other hominids, each with sharp claws and different abilities they could have used to attack you or take you prisoner, but instead their claws become hugs as everyone rushes in to see Mama Capeheart and welcome you to the family, because you are now an honorary Capeheart, and a dozen hominid cousins, uncles, brothers, sisters, nieces, and mothers all run up, and you are pulled into a crabby hug.
Hugs, hugs, hugs.
No, get away from me! I am the ultimate fighter. No one shall hug me.
Boyce is easily overwhelmed and hugged. They're not strong enough to resist, unfortunately.
Yeah, you are all pulled into the teeming mass of crab bodies.
I want to act like Reaper is almost trying to swim upwards to get away, and then it's like a horror movie, just getting pulled down until it's just the outreached hand that disappears into this mass of hugs.